Well, hello and welcome along here to 2S F1 Season X. We're here for the Tier 2. Tier 2's Tier 1, I believe, if it's mixed or not. Quite 100% sure about that one, but I am today the Biggles. And who do I have joining me in the commentary box? My apologies that I forgot your name already, mate.
I'm Grand. I am the co-commentator here at the 2S F1 League. And yes, it's great to be alongside you here today, Biggles. Looking forward to an exciting qualifying session and race here today at Interlagos.
Excellent. I'm going to make sure I get your levels okay, because we haven't really got a chance. I'm just on the back foot because I had a friend go buy a graphics card for me. Woohoo! So I finally get a graphics. He's in the States. He just literally drove to the store and get one. You know how they are to get. He got it for me. Super stoked. And I'll get that probably in the next couple of weeks delivered down here in Panama. So interesting conditions here in Brazil, as you'd expect. It's raining, but it's looking like it's going to dry. But you can see people on the dry tires and on the inters and mediums. But I think everybody actually is not really committing on the inters because the track is drying. And it's getting quicker and quicker as well.
Yeah, changing conditions in qualifying, always difficult to master a bit. I think the drivers are adapting to it quite well at the moment. Obviously, with more rain, that means less soft tire running. The track will be cold a bit, so I don't think these are going to be the fastest lap times we're going to see. As we have an Aston Martin off there. That was... who might have that been? I think that was I'm Furious, but I went off there. Either way, as I was saying, I don't think these are going to be the fastest times we're going to see at the moment. Track is cold, and people are still trying to adapt to the circuit, as we saw Pole Sitter Menno there having a bit of an oversteer moment. But you can tell that lap times are getting faster and faster as time passes.
Apologies about the stream earlier. I thought we were muted. We were chatting about stuff. As this man, the Beaver, goes fastest across the line at 113.9, and that was 1.3 seconds quicker than everybody else, I think, in that one. Yeah, 1.2 seconds, actually. So, the times are tumbling left, right, and center. Because the weather forecast, of course, I have all the goodies of the graphics. I'm not quite sure if you can see the stream at the moment there on YouTube. My weather icon's not working. But anyway, it's going to show you that it's definitely drying up. I'm just not seeing anybody else really put purples out at the moment. Good, nice field here at the moment. 19 gladiators, right? So it's all quite good. I think it's merged, right? I believe we merged the tiers together. Confirm that one. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I have absolutely no idea on that. So yeah, I'd say I'm the last person to ask about that, unfortunately. So I can't really answer your question.
Not a problem. Yeah, sorry, I did too many of these a week, so I get confused with the different leagues. And plus tonight I got... Well, tonight for me, I have a couple of more iRacing ones to go. As Keyboard Magnuson goes... you can see, he's on a keyboard, and you can see what he's steering. He's committing to a couple of laps on these medium tyres, which you can do, of course. And so far you can see it's struggling. It's going to be struggling even more, of course, on a keyboard in the wet conditions, I know, because I race on a keyboard. It's not easy, but these guys are... Well, he's one of the best quickest in the world, too.
I can imagine league racing on a keyboard wouldn't be the most optimal setup if you're trying to set in competitive lap times. But I do respect his noble efforts, Keyboard Magnuson. Yeah,
he does. He does good. He has a solid job. And this man at the moment is doing a solid job. I am furious because he's lighting up the timing boards with the fastest first sector. Keep an eye out, too, for Agfar. Because he should be at the top of the timesheets anytime soon. When he crosses the line, he's a little bit further up the road there, setting a purple middle sector. Times are going to tumble left, right, and center. 11 minutes and change to go. Qualifying right now. And he's still coming around the track somewhere. I'm just saying. But I'm still on board. I'm furious. Who should be furious right now? Because he just banged that car, binned it into the wall. Is he okay to live another day, or is that a retirement? No, he's lucky. He's lucky the wheels are still attached to the car, so he can get back.
Yeah, as I did say before, I think the track temperature haven't risen up yet, and I think it still might be a bit slippery, but I think that one's got to hurt for I'm Furious, because he was on the purple sector too as well, so that could have been a pretty good lap time, but there is still a few minutes in the session to go, so I think he is still going to get time to do a pretty good lap anyways.
Yeah, exactly. He's got time likely to go back. Futuristic goes fastest. But we'll keep an eye on the other Ferrari. Well, Tranquilo, actually. Sorry, the other one's an Alfa Romeo. Tranquilo's just lit up the timing boards. He's got a bit of traffic up ahead. We'll have Snelly. Oh, and he's had a spin as well, Tranquilo. That's at the top of the hill. That's you know where he's spun? He spun it on Duck's Beak, I believe. That's actually what the corner is called, I think, translated. And they call that because that's where the rookies make mistakes, apparently. A duck or something like that, like in Portuguese or something, some reference to rookies. And that's exactly what Tranquilo's just done. Oh, well. Second driver I've been on board today, they've spun. Do you think there's a pattern emerging here, mate?
Maybe. I think maybe the commentators or broadcasters' curse could be in play today.
It's coming thick and fast. Hello, everybody out there in the YouTube world. Nobody's chatting. We don't bite. I know Grand might bite. I bite sometimes. And let's see if Lavi can bite his way to the top of the timesheets, because he has yet to set a time. But 9 minutes to go. The track is getting drier and drier, as you can see. So it should not be a problem for this Flying Finn to get a good time in. He's got the fastest middle sector. Yep.
Yeah, purple middle sector there. So we're going to see on board with Lavi then in the Haas as he heads through the final corner then. And let's see then what it will be for the Haas driver as he crosses the line. And that is pole position for Lavi by 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, look at the times tumbling left, right, and center like a Bitcoin exchange. As Tranquilo goes a little bit too twirly-whirly in that corner. So just a Ferrari driver can't get a decent lap in at the moment, even though he's got the pace. And let's go to some of the other drivers. I think at the moment, Lavi's committing to another lap on those tyres, and he's gone even quicker through that first sector.
Track definitely seems to be ramping up at the moment, as we got a yellow flag in sector 1, but the driver's getting into the groove then. They're looking to become a bit faster then.
The hammer out there is saying he's waiting until it's dry enough. I think you're right. Some of the drivers are going to be doing that. That's Nibar down in P19. Just mentioned that for the McLaren. We'll keep an eye on Ocean Chief, because Ocean Chief's about to cross the line right now and go top of the timesheets. Everybody right now is just going to go faster and faster and faster, providing you don't make a mistake and invalidate. As you can see, they're shaving almost a second off the lap. And watch this, Lavi across the line right now. He'll shave another second away from that previous time. So, yeah, as the track just gets quicker and quicker. Joel at the moment is now lighting up the timing boards. I think today, mate, it's going to be last across the line. Should be the quickest.
Yeah, I would agree with you there as well, Biggles. Obviously, we don't know how long it is going to take for the track to rubber in, for example, or you know, if there still might be some standing water on the track. Obviously, now while we look on board with the TV cameras, obviously we can't see any water, but I guess there might be some like eeny weeny part of like raindrops or something on the track. But either way, the drivers are still going to have to adapt to the changing track characteristics. And yeah, I think it is going to be quite a close shootout for pole at the end of the session here.
There's Joel crossing the line there. It's going to be his teammate there, Mr. Pineapple. As he's got, yeah, you can't see it because I'm sharing the game with you, but you can't see it on the hot lap graphic that I have. You can only see that on the stream, of course. And that's probably why you can't see the other little timing thing as Jacob goes quicker. See about the other Ferrari driver of Nico Dishu. So yeah, if you can see the actual YouTube, you'll see the little overlay graphic that I have. It's more accurate than the F1 game one. The F1 game one can show you a purple when it's not a purple. But hot lap graphic I have, mate, is accurate. Anyway, should be accurate because Mr. Kurte climbing his way up the hill as he goes through Junko at the bottom of that's turn 12. He's climbing up. This is going to be a fastest lap. Penny doesn't invalidate. Tuck up against the pit wall. High five your team. That's how close you had to get to it to take the minimum distance to the line, and that's a 107.4. And yeah, I'm just going back to everybody's lighting up purples, mate. Again, there's another purple there for Mr. De Beaver. Menino. De Beaver. These names.
This looks to be a pretty good lap time then for De Beaver as he heads through turn 10, I think this is. Or might this be?
Yeah, that's 9 and 10. This is the Duck's Beak. As you climb up, that's the highest point of the track. Then you go back down the hill, Marengo, I think, and then Jonko, 12.
I
Yeah.
would also like to mention something, Biggles.
Yes, sir.
The stream is showing the the stream title is the Singapore Grand Prix.
Well, guys, out there, you got to change it. I can't change it. Yeah, that's up to them to change that.
Yeah.
I thought it was correct. That's weird. Anyway.
Yeah. The Beaver then going fastest by 1/10 of a second. So I think the margins of pole position are just getting slimmer and slimmer. So I think we are gonna see a proper pole shootout in a few minutes' time.
Yeah, can you also let them know in the on the commentators chat there about that's changing the stream title, please?
Yep.
So I'll hopefully get that sorted. They're in the pits. If they're driving, of course, they'll have time to do that while they're in the pit lane. It's 4 minutes to go. Expecting to see much more titles changing as we're seeing Mr. Nubar go across the line. Remember, he was chatting to us before in the chat and said he was going to wait until it's dry enough, and I think he's waited till it's dry enough. But his time, that's medium. That's not bad. On the mediums, remember. That was his first time of the day. Mediums are about 8/10, I believe, slower.
Yeah, still a pretty good lap on the mediums for Niebuhr then. That is him into P6. And yeah, I guess a theoretical lap time on the soft would probably get him into the top 3 or even the front row, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he's going to commit to another one here or not. His first sector wasn't. No, it's too slow. So he's almost got in the way there of the Haas. I think of Lavi. Because Lavi isn't a flying lap. It's going to get busy out in that track soon, mate, with 3 minutes of change to go because of the fact that the track is now also increasing about another 1 or 2 degrees just in that last couple of minutes as the sun's peeking out of the clouds. So that is definitely going to give you an indication of, once again, who's last across the line. Let's have a look here at the moment of Lavi up into P3. See, the track map showed he had a purple second sector, but in my telemetry, he doesn't have a purple second sector. That's just a spectator glitch. The drivers know, of course. New phone, who dis? Hey, Dragon. Hector. Out there in the chat. So, Lavi's now everybody's starting to come out on the track. New Buzz, he must have backed off from that previous lap, and now he's back into this one because he's burning, he's flying. But committing, once again, to those medium tyres, looking for an alternative strategy for the race. That could certainly pay off for him if he can get that car inside the top 10.
Yeah, he's looking pacey on the mediums as well, so I think that could definitely be a possibility for Niebuhr. I'm furious as well. Obviously had that crash earlier in qualifying, so he is on a flyer at the moment. So let's see if he's able to get a competitive lap time in on those mediums as well.
Yeah, that's true. I'll go back to him in a second. There's also Dogger Wall going very slow, actually, first sector. So there you go. So Nubar does improve on his time. That's impressive, I'd have to say. Once again, he's getting it down. He's got down to 7/10 there. And that's right on the money, I'd have to say. But I'm furious, should be furious, mate, because he's just invalidated his lap. He's going to go around again and do it.
Yeah, that is... especially with the F1 2021 games compared to the previous games in the series. They seem to be really strict on track limits this year. Or technically the previous year, but yeah. Track limits are a pretty big thing in F1 2021, and it really shows, and it does get pretty frustrating.
Yeah, it absolutely. As Nico can't seem to improve too much more. Can't seem to break that 1 second gap. I'm just having a look to see anybody else on an absolute flyer. Perhaps if we go over to Agfa. Actually, no, I'm actually going to drop down to this driver, currently Snelly Hankey, who we know has some serious pace. Lately has been improving as well. And let's have a look. His teammate is Mr. Futuristic. In the Alfa Romeo, he had the fastest first sector, but it's been replaced now by some of the other drivers that are out on the track. So this will be it. See what Snelly can kind of pull off. I would not be surprised if he's up the top of the timesheets, but then they will get replaced.
Yeah, well, we have the checker flag out now, and I think Futuristic is going to be the first one to cross the line, followed by Henke here, as Futuristic goes up with the P6, and then Snella Henke crossing the line P4 for him in the Alfa Romeo.
Kirte could be able to take Kirte's one away. Kirte, I think if he doesn't, but this man will go even quicker, and he's going to secure this pole position right there. Menino de Beaver has done it in the Aston Martin, and done it by a mile too, of 4/10, and he's timed that one perfectly, hasn't he, to be across that line right at the dying stages of qualifying.
Yeah, very impressive lap time from de Beaver up at the top. Then that is 3/10 that he takes pole by.
Yep, and that's it for your qualifying session for sure, as everybody's just going to be bringing the cars home. And everybody else that I'm seeing on the timing sheets is improving. They're just coming back in. So, yeah, just Merlin, I think, didn't just get out there and set a competitive time. Obviously, 8.2 seconds down the road. It's not a time he wanted to set. But it's a nice spread of the field, isn't it? Because we're looking at the top 12 drivers separated by a second. Let me scroll you through those tyres as well to let you know. So, yeah, you see that Nubar's been pushed down outside, so risking it on those soft medium tyres did not pay off for him. However, yes, he is in the P11 position. I guess he wanted it because he said that at the chat. So, yeah, but you can start with the mediums if you want, because you've got a whole bunch of fresh soft tyres but sitting in a garage that you're not going to use because you haven't used them yet during qualifying.
Yeah, I think Niebuhr could definitely go up a few positions in the race, for sure, with how he's played into his hands. I think, yeah, he's definitely in the running to get some good points today, at least. But, yeah, the entire top 12 then, or top 11, I'd say, separated by just under a second. So, field is looking very close today.
Looking really spicy. Weather forecast I'm seeing is practically the same as what you're seeing right now, so that will be for the start of the race. I don't foresee any wet weather coming in the horizon, but as we get loaded into the actual game for the race day, it will give me more of a forecast. But just a prediction as we're waiting for the drivers to just make their way around the track. There it is, finally. Yeah, apologize about the stream title, guys. It is actually in Brazil. I think it's because I stopped and started the stream. Anyway, if you'd like to go over those results for us, please.
Yes, so it is Menno de Beaver on pole position for Aston Martin then by 0.3 of a second from Kürte in second place. Derogatory Pineapple on the second row lining up in P3 with Agafa in P4. Joel 5th place with Grisia in 6th, then it is Snella Henke P7 with Jakob Chinka P8. Futuristic P9, okay, never mind.
Yeah, you gotta be quick, mate. It doesn't allow you a lot of time. They shortened that this year. But it's all right. Yeah, that's all right.
I think,
yeah, I didn't, because I was really rushing, because once again, I said I had a friend driving to Best Buy in the States to pick up a graphics card for me. And because I was sorting that out, I didn't get a chance to put the standings up there. So I don't know if you can get a chance to have a look at the standings and let us know while we're under the formation lap how the championship is heating up.
I could just take it under the formation lap, like the rest of the stat.
Just read through it.
Field.
Read through it, yeah, roughly. The drivers' standings and the constructors, of course, because who's leading those?
Where are they?
In the Discord somewhere.
Okay, I'll try and get a hold of them.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, a little unprepared today, but hey, at least we're broadcasting. That's the main thing. As we're just loading, everybody getting ready to load in. I was just hearing some echoes, but that's just a local presenter talking to the track, talking to the audience members on the track.
No, I can't seem to find it.
All right. Maybe somebody in the chat out there can throw a link to it or something. You can't really throw a link to it. Maybe ask in the commentator chat. as Tranquilo's been disqualified, probably had a bit of a spin or something, or tangled with Finiels to start on colder tyres. Weather forecast, yes, just overcast, a little bit of cloud, 20% chance of rain at about 45 minutes. So we'll see. Keep an eye on that in the horizon if that happens to increase or not. For now, nothing the drivers need to worry about. They'll definitely have to make one of their mandatory pit stops to change compound before then. This track is a little punishing on tyres.
Yeah. And I think, obviously, with the drivers warming up tires at the moment in the formation lap, I think being disqualified from the formation lap can be quite damaging if you are looking to get a good start of the line, because then you're not able to warm up your tires and you have to start on cold tires. So Tranquilo is in a bit of a bad position at the moment, but yeah, I feel like strategy is going to play an important role here today. As you said, a very tire-intensive circuit, Interlagos.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Dogger War as well, the only guy down the bottom there, starting on the soft tyre. So look out for him. He's going to be, hopefully, the McLaren driver is going to be looking at making a lot of overtakes as quickly as possible to utilise that soft tyre advantage that he's going to have. And of course, you are at the back of a field of a 19 grid order. And well, it's tricky, isn't it? You go down into the Center S's and Curva de Sol. You might see a bit of carbon fibre flying over the place. What are you guys out there predicting? Any safety cars? And if so, when? And Grant, it's the rule of thumb that if you commentate with me, you're the one that gets to call the race start.
Yes, okay then. So, 36 laps await us then here at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. It is Menno de Beaver on pole position, but can Kürting in second place do anything else? We have 5 lights. And we're on our way here for the Brazilian Grand Prix, and the Beaver with a very good start then, already leading off the pack. Pineapple looking to get Kürte there on the outside, heading into the first corner then. Pineapple already ahead, but Kürte going a bit off track there, but still is able to hold the P2s. We got a yellow flag in sector 1, as they're almost 3 wide there. Griso, Joel and Jakob there. Dueling for position then for the P6 as Futuristic is going at it. That's someone off. And I think that's Joel. Yeah, that is Joel in the Red Bull who is off, and I think he's rejoins the P17.
Yeah, he's back
meanwhile,
there. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, meanwhile, I think Pineapple, yes, look at that. He's got ahead of Kürte. Kürte now under pressure from Agafa for P3. So might he fall down 2 places here? Agafa looking very eager to try and get past the Haas for P3. As Snella Henke in P5 then looking under pressure from Griso for P5. Jakob Trinka ahead of Lavi as well. Lavi not able to get it into this corner, but I think he's going to get a nice little slipstream of the Williams to try and make a move for P8 into turn 1. As here he goes with the slipstream lining up alongside the Czech driver then as they head wheel to wheel into turn 1. Lavi just a bit ahead, but Jakob a bit later on the brakes as they head through the Senna SS.
I think he's got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look at that. Nubar as well. They're thinking about this as they make their way down into Desida del Lago. 10, 4 and 5, side by side. Climbing your way up the hill there. Jacob and Lavi, we're on board right now of Nubar, so we can get a bird's eye view of how this is going to look. Somebody's going to have to lift off there. I think it was Jacob, and then you can't be going side by side through this corner, otherwise somebody's going to be into the fence. Great battling going on at the moment. This is one of those tracks that you can almost go side by side through the whole track. There's only a couple of those corners. You could actually theoretically go through them side by side, but it's risking it for the biscuit. However, it is one of those tracks that you can get wheel-to-wheel action all the way practically. So there's your position gainers and losers as well too. So Hanky gaining 2. Biggest loser, well, Dogger War gaining 4. Didn't I tell you about those tyres at the start? As we're seeing an overtake here from Greaser and Snelly, perhaps.
I think he is actually going to try to turn 1. A bit of a late move there from Greaser, but he's not been able to do it. So he stays in P6 at the moment. I think he might have a good shot at trying into the Desida del Lago as they have DRS now. Yellow flag in sector 1, though. I think that is Julius.
It's Greaser going around.
Oh no, and yeah, that is Greaser going around. trying to attempt the move on Henke. And yeah, that is the Alpine driver spun round. So,
Oh, he's retired.
Oh, yeah, he's out as well. That is a shame.
Yeah, so I think he's just got frustrated on that one, and that's a rage quit. Because the car wasn't fully damaged. I think he was just trying to send one up the inside there, and unfortunately, that little tap had sent him spinning. Could have gone the other way around, of course, could have sent Snelly spinning. It's a 50-50, really, at the moment. Let's see if Kurte can do anything about the pineapple up ahead. He's going to have that DRS activation right now, which is going to give you an almighty tow. I think it's going to be pretty easy, don't you think, mate?
Yeah, here goes Kurte then on pineapple into turn 1. I think he's going to get this. And yeah, he's already ahead even before turn 2. But Agafa has now caught up to the pair of them there for P2. So we could see a three-way battle for P2 here.
Yeah,
as
true.
we see Pineapple going on Kurte and already ahead before the corner. Agafa trying to follow Pineapple through as Kurte, ooh, bit of an oversteer there for him. Might that allow Agafa to try the move somewhere? Maybe not in the middle sector here, as you did say you kind of don't want to try a move into this corner directly, as Pineapple's actually received a 3-second time penalty for track limits. So yeah, that is unfortunate. I think that is going to impact his race by a bit. But the Beaver then leading by 3.1 seconds. So while these three are battling for second place, the first place man has absolutely checked out at the moment.
Yeah, exactly right. But we're going to see another battle as they're going to go through the DRS zone. And that could also be a 3. I'm going to go aboard with Agafar and have a look at this one from his bird's eye view. He's just going to try to set up the inside of the Red Bull into turn 1 on the Pineapple. He can, but then it comes back. Remember, the Pineapple then are going to have the inside line. No, he won't. So through the center S's, he's got the job done. But then now it's a switcheroo. Remember, Pineapple probably might have backed off so allowed, so he gets that DRS, which he's going to get right now. But then again, so does Agafar.
Yes, Agafar going around the outside, both with a bit of track limits. I think there was a bit of contact there. It looked like, but either way, both of them still going at it. Agafar all over the rear box of the Red Bull, as he actually just kind of makes the space there, heading into turn 8 and now turn 9. And I think Agafar is just ahead there. So yeah, good stuff from Agafar, but I definitely think the battle is not far from over yet.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely not with these top guns. I was just right. Snelly, Hanky, and Futuristic are just hanging in there. I thought there might be a bit of an overtake between there, but they're on the same strategy. The only thing they have to be very careful, of course, is that if there's a safety car that pops out soon, they are too close for a double stack. Oh, they will double stack. Here we go. And there's a run, I think, on the McLaren there of Nubar and Jacob now. And Nubar's not too bad. Remember, he was in 11th place he started. Currently, at the moment, looking 7th place and on the mediums. So that's pretty good.
Yes, oh no, yeah, that is a... Wait, that was a crash. I think, yeah, Jakob spun round. So that was, yeah, Jakob going off, but did they make contact? I think they... I think Jakob might have just clipped the rear wheel of Niebuhr, and they made contact, and Jakob got spun round facing the wrong way. Either way, that is the Alpine driver down to P12, which has, I think, got to be a bit disappointing for him.
Oh, Tranquillo's retired. That was behind. Was that a crash? Let's have a look.
No, I think that is a manual retirement.
Yeah, that's a pit lane retirement, actually. I was just having a look. So, yeah, because we just saw a lot of stuff. The battle at the front there has changed, so Kurte made a mistake because this has dropped back a couple of places here at the moment. He's got Pineapple for company. He has made an error somewhere.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it looked unusually slow on that exit, because here comes Pineapple and Kurte losing 2 places on the straight then.
Yeah, thank you very much. The title is fixed up. This is the Season X of the Brazilian Grand Prix of 2S. And Duggar Wars dropped a couple places there too as well. There it is. You can see him coming slow. And that was through the center S's, so he must have made a little bit of an error. We'll go back up to that P4 position. That's where the action is at the front. As you said, these guys are going to be at it, like trying to separate school kids so they keep fighting in the playground all the time, aren't they? You send them to the principal's office and they still get back into the fighting again.
Yeah, I guess you could make a metaphor like that. But yeah, it's safe to say that these three, accompanied with the two Alfa Romeos of Futuristic and Snella Henke, and maybe even Niebuhr actually, could all get involved in this battle for P3, I think, because I think Agafa is pulling away a bit. But yeah, you can see that Pineapple has quite a big following behind him at the moment, as Keyboard Magnussen is out as well. I think that is also a manual retirement.
It looks like it, yeah. It's a bit unusual. And Ocean Chief has been dropped because he's ghosted. We saw a disconnection issue there come up, so I'm not going to show you his car because they're just driving through his ghosted car, unfortunately. That's Keyboard Magnussen. So I hope this isn't like one of those, those Steam issues. If you start to see a couple of people just disconnect all of a sudden in the last couple of laps, that might indicate it. Well, maybe Chief will let us know out there. Last to say 2 safety cars easy. We're at 8 of 36 so far. No safety cars. Penalties will start coming, and yeah, you can see at the moment the Haas driver just can't do anything about Pineapple for now. Fastest person in the first sector is Snelly, but he's tucked up behind his teammate there of Futuristic, so no doubt I don't think they're planning on swapping anything just anytime yet. But they will have to get on with it because the McLaren driver is ready to split them. So Snelly's got to be the blocker, and the McLaren driver of Newby almost hits the back of him because his tyres are much, much better right now, I'd have to say. This is where the crossover point's coming, where you have to get rid of those soft tyres. I think. What do you guys out there think in the chat? It's got to be getting close. And there's a change for the lead of this one because Pineapple has got past Agfa. Not just actually yet. Ocean Chain's back. Good. That's good. So he'll be back to control the car. But we'll keep an eye on this battle again, isn't it? Kyoto now on Agfa. And Pineapple, you can go 3 into there. Down in Decido de Lago, but that's risking it for the biscuit. Good exit for the Haas driver.
Yeah, that was pretty good from Kyoto as well. Followed Agafa through Decido de Lago to take that P3. And as you did say, Biggles, I think you can go 3 wide through there, but it is pretty risky. Risking it for the biscuit, maybe.
Yeah, risking it for the biscuit. Pit stops are coming in there at the back there. I see Nico there, and I Am Furious. That's interesting as well, too. I Am Furious is going mediums. Is that a mistake in the team? Because, yeah, he started on mediums and has gone back on the mediums. So, 3-stop strategy, perhaps, there for his team. 2-stop strategy, sorry. I think Dog of War and Ocean Chief is not back in control of that car. I did say he was reconnected, but obviously, there it is. Oh, he might have. And he's gone off, but he's kept it on the road. Now, that sometimes just comes back down to, what happens when you get back in control of the car and then all of a sudden you're in a corner at 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
you do tend to get a bit
I don't want to
surprised.
be controlling the car at that point. Yeah, that could have been something like that because he was ghosted and then unghosted. So it looks like. At least he's out of the barriers. He's out of the fence. But
yeah.
Lives to see another day.
Out of all scenarios where you had to retake control in a 200 mile per hour corner, I think that would have been the best out of the worst, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, at least he's back in control of the car. That's what you want to see. You don't want to see his AI car ghosting around here. Still, This is that battle at the front there. Nothing that Mr. Meno has to worry about. He's got a 6-second gap. He's also got the fastest lap. So he's in the 110s. Everybody else is in the 11s. Well, apart from this man, the McLaren, he's in the 110s. But the problem is he's got some traffic up ahead he has to overtake. And he knows he can go a lot deeper into this race. You're going to start seeing these pit stops up ahead. Snelly doesn't have to worry about his teammate because his teammate boxed first, and that was Futuristic. And Futuristic's dropped back in P11. Now, pit stop around here is 20 seconds, give or take. That's the times I'm seeing. So, if you're going to look at that, and there's Jacob boxing. Well, currently at the moment, 20 seconds from P1 will be about where the other McLaren, where Jacob is currently. He's in the pits. Yeah, give or take. P8. If the poleman leader, boxes, he'll drop to P8. Tranquilo's left the session as another Ferrari driver. That's another retirement in pits, it looks like. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with these retirements in the pit lane at the moment. G'day, Tipsy Bob. How are you doing, my friend? Welcome along to Brazil. Hope you bring your bathing suit, mate. We're going down to the beaches of Rio later. have a party. You'll burn, by the way, too, mate, from Northern Ireland. I see it all the time, actually, with all the people from the United Kingdom and stuff like that come down to Australia. They fry on the beaches because you're not used to that sunshine. Here we go. New Bar and Snelly. Down into turns 1 and 2. Thank you for the great helicopter camera angle there, Cody. You don't get that very often. When you do, Christmases have come early.
Yeah, it is a rare sight when Codemasters do deliver with a good camera angle. Usually whenever there's an overtake, they show some weird onboard camera.
Yeah,
so.
some like, front wing or looking at the back, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been begging for this, and I've actually been begging for some of the Codemasters technical team and stuff like that. So just give us one more camera angle. Just a helicopter one, that's it. So we have 3. On board,
I wish there was more.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I wish there was... Okay, no, I'll let you speak.
Yeah, it's fine. You don't want to have too much, because the good thing about it, it's very cinematic. That's the word I'm looking for. In the way that, when you do watch all these races, the camera, most of the time the camera angles look great and stuff like that. I don't think they want to take it away too much. You give people too much power, and they can destroy things and make it look bad, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is true.
Some of these boxes. That's why I just want the helicopter one, because the helicopter one still looks good.
Yeah. Although I do wish there kind of was some form of manual control to the cameras. Kind of like how Assetto Corsa has it.
Yeah, true.
I do prefer that system.
And iRacing, that's good, but it's a lot of camera work to do too much sometimes. You have to really get a lot of practice and rehearsal in. As Nubar now is going to stay out here, and this is where you're going to start seeing his advantage of those tires. Now remember, this man started in P11. That's exactly what he wanted when he was in the chat. He was happy with that, and he did not even use the soft tires at all during qualifying.
Yeah, Neighbour's got incredible pace at the moment. I mean, he's going faster than some of the soft tire runners at the moment, and he's even going to go longer than them. So he's in a prime position to, I'd say, get a podium here today.
And there's a little battle graphic there, courtesy of Team Telemetry, that's showing the battle for P3 currently at the moment between the McLaren and the Haas. And this McLaren driver will get that DRS activation. You'll see it pop open. You'll see it just above the rear wing. You can't see this, obviously, because it's the graphics that are on the stream.
Yeah.
And there we go. So this should be easy pickings. Take candy from a baby up into P3. But that's because the man ahead of him just boxed anyway.
As there's a yellow flag in Sector 2.
So
is
McLaren.
that before?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, no. He's trying to get back on the track, hit the loud pad on the car's not agreeing. And now he's mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
It's got front wing damage, but luckily, it's just up the road there to the left, mate.
Yep.
Just use your in-car guide. Turn left. At the next 100 meters, box. All right, so we're back up to P3. Sorry to cut you off.
How different F1 races would be if only the drivers had a GPS.
Who was it? It was Kimi Raikkonen 1 year, I think, in Brazil, where he was taking some wrong path or something like that. Try to cut back to the pit lane.
I think it was at this corner that we're seeing at the moment, actually. He just went completely off, like, the service road and just kind of drove around there.
Yeah, exactly. And then there was like, oh, there's a wall. Can't go there. And there's an overtake. Nubo will be into the lead of this race, as to be expected because of those tyres. Now, if you gotta have to start reacting to this, aren't you? As Lavi's reacting. What about Mino? Julius is tied from session. That's a crash. That is a crash. Let me see if I can find it.
Safety car.
Where's the... Oh, I did the wrong McLaren. They just passed it. It is... You'll see it in a second. Casino de Lago to the left, right there. Oh, yeah, it's in the middle of the track. So that's a safety car. That's a gold mine, isn't it, for Mino? It's going to come in now. But what do you do if you're Nubar? You've got to probably take advantage of this safety car, don't you? Because that's it's a free pit stop. So that means Pineapple's going to be able to. Pineapple he should be able to take the lead of this race now. It's 15 seconds and oh, that's going to be close. No, it's 24 seconds. So he should be net P2. I'm not quite sure, guys. We'll start doing some maths. Yeah, we need sunglasses to look at your tipsy bob. He's so pale white. It's not your fault. It's just where you live. You don't see the sunshine very much. Well, this time of the year too, I imagine.
Well, I mean, neither do you where I live. So.
It's summer now, finally in Panama, so it's actually sunshine, not raining. Oh, wow! Did you see that overtake in the pit lane?
Yeah, that one was cool.
Oh, that's absolutely amazing. You don't see that very often.
It reminds me of Sebastian Vettel. What year was it? 2016 in China. I think where he like overtook 2 cars in the pit lane. But yeah, that was a pretty sweet overtake into the pit entry.
And Nubar's going onto the hard tires. He's like, I don't need softs. I don't think he's not going to touch the red stripe tires all session long. It looks like he's going to slot back out in just ahead of Snelly. So that's your positions, and so everybody's made their pit stops now. Futuristic made a little bit earlier on, but 5 laps on mediums aren't too bad. Can you take him to the end? That's going to be the key, isn't it? Because we're just not even on halfway point in this race at the moment.
I think he might be able to take it to the end, but he's going to really have to nurse those tires in the closing stages of the race, because I think they are going to be quite worn. But yeah, interesting with how Niebuhr goes for the hards. But yeah, this safety car has really played into the hands of Menno, because, I mean, yeah, this race has just fallen into the hands of him even more.
I want to see if I have a replay. No, I don't. Oh well. I do. Oh, I was just going to see Niebuhr almost hit the back. It'll be in the highlights, don't worry. I saved it for the highlights. I just can't play the replay up of that fantastic overtake in the pit lane. So there's your penalties as well. So Pineapple is not looking too sharp, pointy, prickly. There you go. That's what I was looking for. Prickly on 9 seconds at the moment.
Oof, yeah.
But however, he does looking good to get that Rolex time penalty award. So you get some sort of consolation prize if you get that. I mean, Rolex aren't aware of that yet, but I'm going to keep pushing it until they are. Eventually sometime sponsor that. Come on, give the drivers a Rolex. If he had a Rolex, he would be on time. We'd not have those penalties.
That is true. See, if anyone from Rolex is watching this right now, you should listen to this man.
I'm trying. It used to be the FedEx and the DHL time penalty award, but I thought that was a lot better for what somebody was telling me. No, Biggles, it should be Rolex. I'm like, of course. Why didn't I think of that? I can't take all the credit. It was one shark that first coined it. I'm just promoting it. So there's your position gainers and losers. Futuristic up 6. 5 for Nubar. 9 for Merlin. Immersion. I think I call him Merlin. Dogawar up 7. I Am Furious. Here's your retirements, unfortunately, from Julius, Joel, Keyboard, Tranquilo, and Greaser. Greaser went out on the first lap, I believe, and he had a few other retirements in the pit lane, mostly. And it was only Julius, I believe, that just crashed out before Casino del Lago that caused this safety car you're currently watching on lap 17. Hey, thank you for joining me as well, too, Graham. First time we've commentated together, mate. Having fun?
Yeah, this is great.
So it's going to be interesting to see how those tyres are going to pan out there, because with Nubar, he's got to get them up to temperature. The hard tyres, some drivers that I know will say, I will not touch those hard tyres at all. You couldn't pay me enough money. Some of the drivers do like it, but getting a temperature into them, I think Snelly's going to be all over the back of Nubar when the safety car comes in. Should be coming in this lap too. So this is Brazil. Always produces, doesn't it? I mean, we all know, I think we all agree, we would love to see Brazil as the last race of the season in the regular F1 calendar like it used to be. But unfortunately, even Brazil, with some of the oil and stuff like that they have, don't have enough oil money to pay their way to be the last track like the Arabian countries do. Have you noticed the trend about, I was just thinking about this the other day, the trend about where Formula One tracks are lately? I mean, you've got more in the Middle East, of course, because what do they produce in the Middle East?
Might it be oil?
Might it be oil? And what are these cars still running on? Oil.
Oil.
And, I mean, and you think about this too. What about Baku, right? Well, that's one of the biggest oil-producing countries in that region. And on top of it, you've got Texas. Russia, of course, yes. And you've got Texas and Miami. Now you think, okay, well, Texas obviously produces oil. But Miami, well, if you actually look at it, they're one of the biggest consumers of fossil fuels in the States, that is. Whereas California are more, what do you call it, carbon neutral, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it makes perfectly sense to promote motor racing, to use, fuels and advertising and stuff like that, as we're going to get ready to go, mate. The safety car's in. Here we go.
Futuristic's already alongside Pineapple there. No, he isn't. So Pineapple staying in P2. But it is the Beaver who leads the field then, as I think someone's fallen out the back of the grid. Might that be I Am Furious? As here's Curte trying to get back up at that podium, trying to get Futuristic into the seat of the Lago. Tucks in behind the Alfa Romeo though, can't quite make the move just yet, as he's about 3/10 off him. Here's Nico Dish. Oh yeah, that is a time penalty as well for Neko, trying to get ahead of Merlin there. On the inside, he's going to be able to get this as he breaks later than the AlphaTauri. Wheel to wheel here as Neko now trying to attempt it around the outside, but can't quite hold on to that as Merlin remains in P10 then.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. I might have to go further up in the field here at the moment because Nubar's tucked up there, but they got Lavi. Now, I did call it. Snelly got past him in that restart because he had the better tyre. I'm seeing whether or not Lavi can try to do something about Nubar's hard tyres that he's on. He's going to go heavy into the braking and the S's here at the moment. Not quite yet. Remember, no DRS is enabled until the next lap, I believe. So, don't have that massive advantage. There's Nubar actually picking up his first penalty of the day. You'll see it. You did mention, obviously, during the qualifying. I think they're still at it again, aren't they, at the back here between the Ferrari.
I believe they might be. Neko was able to get past Merlin there, so I think we're definitely going to see a move there. As here from the onboard of Agafa, we can see Curte all over that rear box, so gearbox of Futuristic. So Curte is definitely going to strike when he sees the opportunity. So Futuristic is definitely going to have to watch his back here.
Oh, but look at the exit Futuristic got there. He's going to go down into Junko. You've got to get a great exit down here, otherwise you're a sitting target down the main straight. So we'll go back up to the old Agfa. As they're going to make their way around. No DRS now, but on the next lap you'll have it.
I think Pineapple might actually try for the lead here. He's looking very close to the Beaver. No, not just yet. As we've got someone in chat, Lawshon, saying, "I believe there will be another safety car." He says.
Oh, really?
As actually Pineapple here he is trying it into the seat of the Lago. He's actually ahead for the lead.
Yeah, he got it.
That is Pineapple taking the lead of the race. But the Beaver, obviously on those younger medium tires, I think he is gonna have a bit of an advantage later into the race. As I think Jakob has had a bit of a mare, fallen down 2 positions. So something has happened to the Alpine. As Curte has actually gotten ahead of Futuristic as well, so we must have missed that.
The usual probably main straight going into the center S's with the overtake. Unfortunately, we only have one camera, so we can keep an idea of the action as they're going to climb their way back up through the middle sector. Sorry, the final sector here, back up to the hill. And this is obviously an anti-clockwise track as well, one of them on the Formula 1 calendar. Did you know it used to be the other way around?
Really?
Yeah. That is why, and there's a change for the lead again. But at the moment, I'll keep an eye on this battle, because the Beaver's got that lead back, but I'll keep an eye on this one, as we're on board with Nubar, and you can see, actually, there's another change that lead of this race.
That seems to be pretty spicy up front, but either way, even if the Beaver loses out on the lead, I think he's still gonna win this race if he finishes P2, considering Pineapple's 9-second time penalty. So
yeah, exactly. I think he's probably happy just to get that DRS tow at the moment. But he has to be careful because he's also on 2 warnings.
Yeah.
That's going to be the tricky part. It's going to come down, especially the late safety car as predicted by Larson out there. If you do get another safety car added, well, and it is late, well, then all of a sudden those 9-second penalties, the 3-second penalties and all that add up and you're in big trouble. As they're all still at pretty much, you got to remember, they're still bunched up after that previous safety car. You're looking at 10 seconds to separate the top 12 down to Ocean Chief. And speaking of I Am Furious, it just gets past currently Merlin. Not quite yet, but Merlin's going to try to take him back here. They're going to run down as the S's. They're both going to have DRS, of course, from that Ferrari that's up ahead. Will he get the job done? Not quite yet. That's I Am Furious and Merlin. Here's your typical drag, isn't it, down here? But no DRS activation from the Honda. Powered Alfa Romeo, AlphaTauri. And that means I Am Furious will get that up at a P10.
I mean, nice little battle anyways between I'm Furious and Merlin.
Yeah, further up, back up to the business end of things with Agfa and Kurte. Still at it. Agfa's the one that's got 3 seconds penalties. Kurte doesn't. Kurte's on 1 warning, so it's not too bad. You saw what happens when you're close battling in the dirty air, isn't it? You go a little bit, you have to go wide sometimes to avoid him and hit the back of the car or something like that, and bang, all of a sudden you get slapped with that warning.
Yeah. Some people who usually don't do league racing really don't know how hard it is to follow someone else when you're really close behind them. Because like the tiniest little mistake will cost you, even if that is just braking a bit too late or braking a bit early or whatever that might be.
Exactly right, as we've seen this McLaren driver of Nubar that somehow got his tyres up to temperature now, of course. It's taken a few laps to do it, but he's looking competitive. It looks like the Pineapple's got past Beaver now. I think Beaver's just messing with him at the moment. I'm going to keep an eye on this battle, but still at the back of the field here, I Am Furious now gets past Nico up in the P9. But Snelly's there. They like being tucked together, these Alfa Romeos, don't they? Like, Snelly's become a back market to help Futuristic here, protecting themselves there from Nubar.
Yeah, I guess Snella can act as a bit of a rear gunner here, but yeah, the Alphas have been pretty tightly packed, like sardines, the entire race, basically.
They work together as well, too. If you do it as a team, you can actually perform some clever strategy, and you can block quite well. I have seen it with some of these. Pineapples is boxing, so he's getting rid of those tires. He had to. He went softs. He's going to drop out way behind. Going to be dropping back out probably even behind Dog of War. Currently at the moment, because they're all bunched up from that safety car. Dog of War will be crossing the start-finish now as the Red Bulls exit the pit. So it might be a little bit of a nice drag race, actually. I'm going to go back to that for a second.
I think Neko's had a crash somewhere. Yeah,
yeah. And as I'm just on board with, and they're coming out side by side. I thought it was going to be really, really close. I didn't realize it was going to be that close between Dog of War and Pineapple when he came out of the pit lane.
That was close. That was really, really close. I could have sworn there would have been some big accident there, but yeah, I mean, 3 wide with a car just coming out of the pits. I mean, you can see Dog of War just going over to the grass there. That was
yeah.
On the edge.
Yeah, that's what I love about it, because really you can kind of see it on the track map, but really the pit lane exit is about practically the whole first sector. You come out right around halfway down Reta Opsa. And that actually comes back to that fact I was saying that this track used to be the other way around. So it used to be clockwise, and that's what that means. Reta Opsa, get it right, it means opposite straight, because it was an opposite track. Curva de Sol, which is turn 3, that's because it's the curve of the sun. And it used to be, as you climb your way up into the hill, you'd have the sun right in your face. So they reversed the track. It still applies, obviously, but the sun doesn't come in your face now. But that's so they changed it because of safety, because it was too dangerous with the sun in your eyes and stuff like that. Yeah, there you have it.
The more you know.
Yeah, I did a little bit of research for the Brazilian Grand Prix. There's also my lonely palm tree that I've always haven't mentioned it even today here. But I'll talk about the lonely pine, called Little Pine. It's a palm tree, actually, not a pine tree, but they call it Little Pine. And it's an actual... I'm keeping an eye on this battle but between Snelly and Ubar. Ubar's now going to have that DRS activation there, but then so will Snelly.
Yeah, I think Snelly probably wants to duel with Niebuhr as much as possible here as they head side by side through the SS. Niebuhr already ahead though, but I think Snelle is probably going to have a good chance of trying into the Cida Lago as they head down the Reto Oposta. But either way, what I wanted to say was that Snelly probably wanted to hold up Niebuhr as much as possible to avoid him overtaking Futuristic as well, you know, playing the team game, I believe. But yeah, I think Snella might have not been able to do much there, as Niebuhr just has like a lot of pace at the moment, so Futuristic is gonna have to watch his back for that orange livered McLaren.
Yeah, he's on 16 lap tyres too, Futuristic. So I'm going to kind of get a little bit of an idea what his tyres would be like. About 40% currently at the moment. And that's 40% with, what are we looking at, about 6 or 7 laps to go. That's going to be around, at least around 50s, mid-50s. Got to take him to the end now. I think it'll be a little bit too late to do a pit stop. And if you do a pit stop, you're going to have to get on with it, because you're going to drop out about where the Dog of War is. And that's a lot of overtaking to do, even on some fresh boots. Yeah,
definitely. Traffic is the last thing you want when you come in for your first stop, because not only does that mean you're losing time, but you're also having to overtake more, which just kind of ruins your tires a bit. So
there we go, climbing up the hill at the moment. I'm going to show you where my lonely palm tree is. You'll see it in a second as we're on board with Curte. Have a look just to the top of the hill there. See that tree? Palm tree? There?
There it is.
That's inside the track, believe it or not. It's inside the barriers, all by itself. You can actually do donuts around it if you want. I have. And yeah, it's got a little barrier around it, of course, but you never see it. You never see any cars out there, because it's pretty hard to spin a car right out to where that is. That's the reason why they never really bothered to chop that tree down, of course. I mean, they chop trees down all the time, don't they, in the Amazon forest, but they will not chop a tree down in Interlagos. It's in the middle of the track.
Priorities.
Yeah, of course. Sorry out there to Brazilian. I'm sure there's so many Brazilians, of course, that don't like that happening, of course, in the Amazon forest, and fight against that. And hopefully continue to fight against that. As these drivers are fighting their way into the dying last stages of this race now, with just a handful of laps to go. Not too much happening and changing. I think Mino De Bevo has just kind of really dominated this one, but he's still on that bubble of 2 warnings. But he's got 4.7 seconds clear up the road, so he doesn't have to risk it for the biscuit and push that car too far over the line and get a penalty. And even though he's got a gap to cover that anyway, luckily, so because Agfa has penalties, 3 seconds of them. But, and then it's 5.7 to Curte down the road, who has none. But now these guys are in that stage, aren't they, of just nursing their tires to bring them home.
Yeah, definitely. Especially the medium tire runners at the moment. Obviously Futuristic, but I'd say Henke and maybe Curte as well are going to be struggling with tire degradation at the moment. And Futuristic even more, because he has got a McLaren by the name of Niebuhr behind him. And I think Niebuhr actually might try and to see the Lago here.
Oh.
As he
backed off.
Yeah.
He didn't. I think it just. It is a bit deceiving, that DRS zone, because you have to get the almighty exit as you had a Curva de Sol, and then get to be as close as you possibly can to get that job done in the Cida del Lago. That's the tough part. I think right now he's probably bit his time and said, you know what, I want to get a good exit, obviously, out of Junko and climb my way up the hill and try to get at overtake practically almost before the DRS activation zone. And we're going to see that right now as we're on board. See the sun in his eyes there? Can you imagine on the apparently on the other side of the track, it's like really bad. As I said, if it's the clockwise. Here we go. But I think Futuristic is burning some energy, isn't it, to try to cover him off?
Yeah, he definitely seems to be.
but he's also tucked up there. But that's the DRS train. He's also getting the DRS obviously from Goethe, who's getting it from Agfa. And De Beaver's probably wondering what's going on behind because those other cars could probably barely see him now, as you can see on that track map. That's the green Aston Martin climbing his way up into turns 8 and 9, where these guys are now approaching up the top of the hill here. It's been good racing. Unfortunate, most of the retirements that we've had have been just drivers retiring in the pit lane, so not you might not get your other safety car there, Larson. Time is running out for that.
Yeah, his prediction maybe wasn't right, but one thing I did want to point out, I think Niebuhr had a bit of a tap with the rear wing of Futuristic, so yeah, Niebuhr really itching to get past the Alfa Romeo then, as look, there he is already with DRS. Is he actually ahead before the first corner? And he is.
He got a better exit that time coming out of the corner. I think Futuristic might have just burnt his energy like crazy last time around to defend. Well, I'll go aboard there. Oh no, he's got 60%. That's... yeah, he didn't burn anything. Maybe he's like, okay, I'm going to recharge my battery banks and then I'll have an attack at Nuba. Nuba's just going up the road bit. Oh, this is tyres now. This is tyres. Look at that, 21 laps. That makes perfect sense. 50 odd percent, as we saw Pineapple there and Ocean Chief going at it. Hopefully Ocean Chief back in control of that car. I believe he is, yes. Remember, he had some disconnection issues. That's the reason why he's dropped back a little bit further than probably what he would like to be. Pineapple's got better tyres, but also has penalties, which I should start showing you guys now. Oh, Nibar's gone. Dropped a couple of places.
What has happened?
Yeah, he's dropped to both of those cars that he worked so hard to get past. All of a sudden now he's behind them.
What a shame.
He must have made an error out of 11 or something like that. Quite sure where it was specifically. But, I told these drivers, mate, like, if you're going to make an overtake or you're going to make a spin or something, let me know so I can get the camera on you at the right time. Puncher alert.
Yeah.
The P8, maybe around 34. That's coming from Tipsy Bob down the pit lane. Thanks, Tipsy. Tipsy, put a shirt on, mate. It's too bright. The reflection, they can't see. You're blinding us.
Maybe we could use him as a studio light for interviews, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Good call. There you go. Tipsy Bob is the new studio light. Buy him on Amazon. Don't worry about it, Tipsy Bob. You come down here to Carnivals, mate. We'll get you. We'll turn you into a lobster. You'll get a tan real quick. So Snelly now puts it behind his teammate, and Nubar has to do this all over again, which he's trying after making a little bit of a brain fart moment, perhaps. See the blocking? This is what I was telling you about, that these guys can do very well together, the Alfa Romeos. They both can time it so they can go side by side, and it helps prevent, makes it difficult for the other drivers to get past, of course. It's legal. As long as you're not moving around, of course, too much. But yeah, I'm under braking, but it's a great tactic.
It really is. I mean, that is smart thinking from the Alfa Romeos, and I think they are showing great teamwork at the moment.
Oh, they are, absolutely. They've done it before in the past. I believe in our partner SLR that they've done that. It's not Futuristic and Snelly. It's Snelly and another teammate. I think it's... I'm not quite sure. Somebody. I think it's Ocean Chief or something. I don't know. I can't remember. But they do that. They coordinate. They're in the chat saying, okay, you break a little bit earlier here. We'll go side by side. Nubar got that one done, of course, but Nubar's problem has got 6 seconds penalty, so both of those Alfa Romeos are going to come back and get that one. There's the penalties I'm showing. I'll keep the penalties up just for a last little geezer look. That'll be at the tyres, so you guys get an indication that Futuristic's tyres are pretty well 50-60%, maybe getting on puncher territory, you guys mentioned, but he's on a penultimate lap. Not a lot of time to go now. 18 laps for Merlin. That's 60%. Snelly's got around somewhere. Snelly's made a mistake.
Oh no.
His tyres are okay. They're 50s. They're okay. These tires are much, much fresher, but I am furious and stuff. They're going to be very, very close to puncture territory. 60%, 63%, I'd have to say, for those worn soft tires. Now, you have to nurse at home for another, say, 4 or so miles to go.
Yeah, I didn't even realize we were on lap 35 of 36.
Yeah,
Time
back
flies
over the
when you're having
penalties.
fun,
So
I
that's,
guess.
yeah, tough. So I'm furious looking to get that Rolex time penalty award of 17 seconds. But at the moment, Agfa's going to lose this P2 position to Kurte. And Futuristic will get that final podium position, I'd have to say, with Nubar having 6 seconds of penalties. So far, of course, preliminary. They may get removed later on. But generally, those corner cutting penalties don't get removed. Last lap. This man, we haven't really shown him too much, have we? The Aston Martin. Because he's just been leading.
By a dominant amount.
Yeah, Tipsy Bod, it was 60-something%, getting close to 70s. That's my guesstimation that I have from the software. But now he just has to bring it home as much as he can. And I think Lavi's actually putting a bit of pressure on, so he might have to just for a quick second go to Lavi on Futuristic, because that'll be a battle for position here. Remember, there's no penalties between these two drivers, so if he gets that job done on track, he gets it done. And that, potentially, you got to remember, is a third-place podium. That's that's a podium position because the other penalties up ahead, but we might have to see how that one pans out, because we're going to go, obviously, over to our race leader. I'll let you on the call this as he goes across the line.
Yeah, well, the Beaver then, he's driven absolutely great today. Really showed that pace of his as he crosses line to win here at Interlagos. And Menno de Beaver then with a dominant performance as Agafa is going to cross P2 on track, but that would be P3 for him as Futuristic is P4. Yeah, Neighbor is P7, so he's gone all the way down there. Nico finishing P14 then as he got a 14-second time penalty.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. He gets the Rolex time penalty award, of course, so at least as a consolation prize. Yeah, 60% only, Tipsy Bob. Let me have a look at that. Who was that driver? I can't now. It's just finished. I can kind of give you that. It's an estimation guess, so should be pretty accurate. But this man's done it. This man has done it. He was also on 2 warnings for quite some time, so very, very lucky not to get... Well, he could have actually, because you can see he had a big gap, but, well, the Beaver dancing his way to the top of the podium. Congratulations. You are the winner of 2S Brazilian Grand Prix.
Well, that was a pretty good race, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Thank you very much, Tipsy Bob, out there, too, for shining the light onto the podium so we can see those drivers there. As we just use the sun to reflect off your pale white skin. If you'd like to go over those final results for us, please.
Yes, hopefully we have time to do it now. 30 seconds. So it's Menno de Beaver taking the victory here at the 2S Brazilian Grand Prix with Kurte finishing in P2. Agafa is P3 after that time penalty, with Futuristic finishing in P4. Lavi is 5th place with Snella Henke P6, and then Niebuhr 86 in P7. Pineapple P8, Ocean Chief P9, I'm Furious P10, Thunders, and the rest is Thunders, Trinka, War, Dog of War, Neko, Julius, and the non-finishers are Joel, Keyboard, Tranquilo, and Griza. Whew, just able to get through it there.
Good job. Excellent. Very good job. I'd have to say. So we get ready for some interviews, of course. We want to hear from these gladiators about what they thought about all the those beautiful Brazilian ladies dancing in carnivals. We won't worry about the race. We'll just talk about that.
Yeah.
Interviews? Yeah, in a second. Don't go anywhere. We'll give the drivers a bit of a breather so they can have some pina coladas. Back in a minute.
Well, Niebuhr, it was a pretty good race for you, despite that penalty at the end. Obviously, with that good run in qualifying on those mediums, and then the strategy in the race. And I would also like to ask you about that differing strategy. How would you say it impacted your race, and do you think that you could have done more today?
Oh yeah, I definitely could have done more today because obviously the plan was to go medium soft. And when the safety car came out, I've done this track a lot in the past, and I know what the soft limit is, and I didn't think I'd make it, so I chose the hards because I started on a medium. So really, I thought this is going to be super difficult now, and it was. And then when I finally got past Henke and Futuristic, then Kiat half spun in front of me, and because of that, I had to avoid him and half spun as well and went on the grass. And then I lost the positions I gained. So yeah, it was a whole lot of effort for nothing, but it was really fun battling at least on the harder tires. So it was quite a challenge.
Yeah, that explained it because we were kind of confused why you dropped back a couple of those places behind the Alfa Romeos. But yeah, that made perfect sense then. Yeah, different strategy, mate. You, for some reason today, you just said, no, I'm not taking any soft tires.
Well, that wasn't the plan, obviously, but I literally had no choice when the safety car came out. I didn't know if the sauce would make it. I don't know if anybody did from the safety car on. Did anybody?
They did. Oh, we had two drivers, 21 laps on those softs.
So it was possible. Yeah, I mean, I haven't played F1 2021 much, just F1 2020, so I really didn't know the strategy that well. So yeah, I just had to gamble, and I didn't think softs would make it, so I chose the hards, which made it super difficult, but at least it was fun.
Yeah, sorry. I just went, because my telemetry software just crashed and I was trying to look at the tires. I was trying to look at the tire percentage wear anyway from those drivers, so it's not there, but I think I still have it saved somewhere. But anyway, yeah, mate, different strategy. Paid off. Thank you very much for the chat. You let us know too. You're happy about that P11 start because you had the alternative strategy. And good wheel-to-wheel battling. You know, you made your way up there potentially for a P4.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe even a podium.
I don't know if you caught the battles with Henke. They were quite fun. Like on the outside of turn 1, it was really really nice.
For sure. Cool.
But that also caused penalties because I had to go on the curbs, and then it says track limit. So oh well.
Yeah.
Those track limits are too hard, man.
Oh yeah, of course they're punishing, mate. But you know, if they're not there. Trust me, drivers find every tiny little advantage that they can, and they'll exploit it like crazy. So the FIA says, not in our esports game.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, thank you, mate. Fun. Let you go take a bit of a lay down.
Yep, thank you.
And that was Nubar. So who would you like to pull in next? Mr. Futuristic, I guess, the Alfa Romeo driver that finished in P4.
Yeah, let's get him in then.
Hello, Mr. Futuristic. Welcome. For the live interviews, congratulations on your P4 starting from P9. How was your race?
Well, it's quite interesting. It was mega fun to battle with Hammer, Agafa, Lavi, Schnelle, Pineapple, Kurt.
The whole field.
Yeah, basically. Well, it was a pretty long train. I think we were like 6-7 cars in there, and everyone was just waiting for the last lap and a mistake to happen. And it got... I was just praying since I pitted a bit earlier than everyone else because I planned to do the two-stop without the safety car, but when the safety car came, it basically forced me into a one-stop from lap 9, which wasn't ideal. So yeah, my tire wear was pretty high at the end towards everyone else, since even the hards got faster. So yeah, and on the last lap, I knew that Lavi would throw everything he had at me, especially up the hill. Basically, if you are 2 tenths behind the car ahead and the car ahead doesn't have DRS, you will 9 out of 10 times you will get that position because the line is so far away. But it only takes one mistake to lose a positions when the grid is this competitive, so quite enjoyable.
What were your tires at the end? Sorry, because I've lost all my telemetry information when it just crashed, so I don't know anymore.
I think it was like 55
Okay.
on the rears, so
That's
I had
about-
no traction whatsoever out of the corners.
That's about what I think I saw. I can't remember how many laps it was. That was a good thing about this race. I thought that was, Grant, you probably agree with me, that was different than, say, every other Brazilian Grand Prix, is that one safety car came out at a really awkward time for a lot of drivers, and then you didn't quite. Everybody's kind of pondering, hey, can these tires go to the end or not? It'll be risking it for the biscuit, and just as you said, and yourself and Snelly, were you guys well, obviously you're really together during the whole race. Were you kind of working together to block, per se, legally block, of course, Nubar from getting an overtake into turn 1? Because I've seen you guys do that before, kind of park your cars side by side. Is that, yeah?
Not sure. I mean, ever since I got behind the hammer, or Schnelle, I was let's work together and gain as much points on Williams as possible, which is according to the plan. I mean, since we're fighting, and we will try to get as much points as possible with doing legal things. So
Yeah, teamwork, good, excellent. All
yeah,
right,
basically.
Well, Grant, if you have any questions for our man, so we can let him have a bit of a Mr. Futuristic. no?
No. I was gonna ask the teamwork question, but you already took that one. So
There you go. Well, thank you very much, Futuristic. Good work there again to the Alfa Romeo. Both the Alfa Romeo drivers getting some positions there. Snelly getting from P7 up to P6, and yourself there just a tiniest of margin too there on Agfa, which we'll hear from next. I think you just missed out on that third place in the penalties. Yeah. Anyway, congratulations. We'll see you in the next race.
Thank you.
ha det bra.
And then finally, for the final interview, we'll go the Agfa.
Yeah.
I bet you
If
get
I
him,
just
yeah.
drag him in there, here he is.
Yep, the Norwegian. Now, just to clarify, what do I call you? I keep calling you Agfa. Agfa. Is that correct? Agfa? Is it correct or not?
Agatha.
Agfa.
It's alright. Doesn't matter too much. But
Okay. Well, as long as it's not. I mean, usually people like DM me and go, "Biggles, it's pronounced this way," but you haven't said anything, so I guess it's fine. Gran, you can lead this interview away.
Well, yeah, Agatha, you drove a pretty good race today. So, yeah, just guide us through your qualifying and race then, and just your perspective on it.
Obviously the qualifying was pretty close between, I think it was the top 10. Everybody was within like 10th or something from P3 to P10, I think. So it was very slim margins. Obviously I had a little bit more lap time in the quali lap, but P4 I think it was the best I could do. And then obviously I on the race start I just tried to manage it, not bin it in the wall, spin off or something. And I tried to keep it on track, stay within TRS and keep it clean. I realized quite early that I had a lot of pace, which gave me a big confidence boost. And not much happened, I think, until the safety car, where I got a pit lane overtake, which I think was the highlight of my race.
Oh, that was absolutely outstanding.
Definitely.
We have that. It'll be in the highlights that I'll be uploading as well too. So of course you can also watch the stream back here on YouTube. But yeah, mate, that's probably one of the highlights of the season. I have to say, people were very impressed there in the chat too. They were like going, "Wow, that pit lane overtake." You're right.
I was like debating it, like almost the entire sector 3. I think I was like, "Am I gonna get penalized? Is it allowed?" Because I know it's allowed in real life, you know.
Yeah,
And
of course. It's still the racetrack until you hit the line in the pit lane.
Yeah, I just went for it. He broke super early, and it worked perfectly.
Yeah, could have gone the other way around. Could have had front wing being
Could.
replaced or something like that. But you got to risk it for the biscuit, certainly at this level of motorsport, of course. Yeah, good on you. Should be pretty good there. Pretty proud there, obviously, for the Williams team as well, trying to take some points away there from the Alfa Romeo that we just mentioned before from Futuristic.
Of course.
Looking forward to the next race, mate.
What track is it?
I have no idea. They just put me on a plane. They put me on a 2S plane, and I just go.
I'm not looking forward to every race, to be honest.
It's Australia, I think.
Oh, Go, come
I have-
barbecue down under, mate. All right.
I haven't been there since the story mode first week, I think. So I need to do some
Uh-huh.
practice laps.
Yeah, stay out of Foster's Wall. I've crowned that one. That's that high speed turns 11 and 10 and 11, I think, you know, when you go from
Yeah.
Lakeside Drive down there and then everybody bins it to the right hand side of, I call it, it's our Wall of Champions in Australia. It's Foster's Wall because, you know, you don't drink Foster's and drive a Formula One car at 320 something kilometers an hour. You would be. Anyway, yeah. That's it from us. Any words to anybody before we let you have a lay down?
Not really. I just want to say fair play to my teammate, or not teammate, Kierse. We did some nice teamwork to keep the podium.
You can wave to him, mate. He's right next door in Finland.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, just stick your hand at the window and wave. So, yeah. I'm not sure where Beaver was from. He's just showing an international flag because it looked like it was Finland, Norway,
I did-
Sweden.
Yeah, that I was gonna mention that. Position 2, 3, and 4 are Nordic drivers.
Yeah,
so that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
5 as well, Lavi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we just know Beaver was from any of the Norwegian, sorry, the Scandinavian regions. Then yeah, well, you would have had old Scandinavian domination on the grid there. Don't tell the Dutch. They don't like that.
The Dutch only have 2 world champions. So
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
against the top 5 in 2S.
Excellent. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
And that will be
Good evening.
wrapping up. Yep. I've got more to go. Mate. It's in the afternoon for me. I got more casting to do tonight for iRacing. But grand, mate. That's grand to work with you for the first time. I'm adding you on my resume of another great commentator that I've worked with.
Oh, thank you. Well, yeah, this has been a really fun experience. I've really enjoyed commentating with you as well, Biggles, and yeah, I'd love to return to us. It's such a great atmosphere commentating here, and yeah, I really like it. So
I'm sure that they will be shoving you on the plane with me to the next track, no doubt, to get some great commentating. So yeah, it's been a pleasure. And you had to commentate from my perspective as well too. That I was screen sharing. So that touch wood, that did work all quite well. You don't have the game,
Yeah.
do you? I believe.
and not on
No.
PC. No,
Oh,
I
okay.
have it on PS4. But
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah. So you have it, but just not on the platform that we can use. But it worked out. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. Tipsy Bob, put your shirt back on. We're already blind. So we'll see you guys obviously down under. I'll fire up the barbecue. We'll have some. So we have some dingo on the barbie? No, I don't think we're gonna have some dingo. We'll have some kangaroo on the barbie. So if you've never tried kangaroo before, jump the fence. I'll fire up the barbie and yeah, and we'll get some sun as well, guys. Because you know it's pretty cold in your part of the world. It's not in Australia. It's stinking hot. Well, I'm not there, but it is always hot at this time of year in Australia. So thank you. Have yourselves a good evening.